That's what graffiti is to me, pure freedom.
Actalone, DJ IQ, I am Banksy. Yo. Vodka bottles bobbed in the stream, its ripples gleam from the lamppost beam. Leaves loosely rustled from the tree branches, weakened muscles. The air was dry, bins filled with chicken skins and french fries from a forgotten Friday night. Swiftly a swan took flight, like a streak of light pierced in the darkness that fell from the sky. Swarms of flies hovered by the bankside. The murky canal flowed with patience. In the shadows I waited, stationed physically. Imagination drifted vividly beyond the surrounding imagery. The waters murmur me intimately, with moments of silence infinitely, adding to its unstable symmetry. A soothing sonic synergy. Pigeons under the bridge cooed, serenading my mood. Clouds drifted through the moon, the sands of time fell. It turned a 12:15. I clenched my fist, attempting to choke the mist. The journey had brought me to this. I pursued him for months, moving according to my hunch, seeking clues, now close to the truth in this game of sleuth. His face remained a mystery. It was his art that attracted me instantly. My obsession grew viciously. His graffiti adorned the walls of London. Now at the halls of the rich, his work is abundant. I thought of my past, born into the comfortable class. Slowly puberty passed. I longed for a life that was fast, but it never advanced. Until one day, under the skies that were grey, I walked in an alleyway where one of his pieces had been sprayed. It blew me away, but it wasn't enough to know just his name. So here I stand, sweaty palms in my hand, ready to meet the legend, the man who allowed me a purpose, showed me a word no worthless, out of sight, a combination of joy and fright. But everything seemed right. I smoked the last fag of the night, blowing perfect circles towards the light. At the back of the bus, tagging my name on the window's dust. I stared at the sea with disgust, ready for the rush. The man they wish they knew, but they've misconstrued. They don't have a clue, the sky in indigo blue. Backpack by my side, stencils and spray cans inside. My mind is the only place I can't hide. The black sheep at school, bullied by fools. My rage was my fuel, with self-loathe I wandered alone in the cold. A young withering soul, ostracized from peers. Parents separate for years, then graffiti replaced my tears. It was meant to be. From spraying messily, I mastered my craft eventually. Now I could express effectively. Essentially no one could guess it was me. I hated my true identity, obsessed with self. Into I split myself. I'll scour the streets at night for spots to draw and write. Chased by cops and residents ready to fight. The thrill of the ride, the coward who found pride. Nothing could stop me from London to across the sea. My art dominated the scene. For rats with no cheese, the rich ironically pay G's. They put a price on vandalism, no shame in capitalism. But a man with no identity needs no reason to justify. What are the reasons I hide? Am I dodging my fine? Scared to possibly do time? Is it person worship I dislike? Being idolized? Maybe it's just a man behind the skin. Isn't as legendary as my pseudonym. A weak pathetic nobody, escaping himself hopefully. It's dark when you're alone, listening to the emptiness in your soul. Escapism is instinctive, so the life of a grapher became addictive. And for one soul's distinctive. The bus stopped at the spot and off I got. Walked by the council block to the canal lock, and it read 12:30 on my watch. Across the bridge and down the stairs, the spot was clear, only nature I could hear. Smoked the cig, water was cluttered with twigs. I scoped the landscape, programmed to locate exits for escape. I crept under the overpass, swigging coffee from the flask. No need to move fast, this was the moment to savor. The shadows were in my favor, chose a spot on the brick wall, anticipating the public enthralled. Removed the cans from my bag, ready to tag. I got to work, crouching in the turds of city birds. The canal stirred, its reflections blurred, then a rustle in the bushes I heard. It was unreal, his presence I could feel as he kneeled, spraying his skills. His face concealed, the place was empty, just he and I, under a moonlit sky. Excitement filled me as I spied what the world would do to be in my shoes, to be so close to the truth. The thrill edged me, I got messy, slipped and rustled the leaves. His neck moved at light speed, analyzing the scene. Me trying not to breathe, let alone be seen. His eyes gleamed, staring straight into mine. Blown my cover at the wrong time? Fuck, but wait no. He turned back to the wall in slow-mo, continued working. Carefully I continued lurking. It's rude to interrupt. I'll show heart if I wait for when he's ready to depart. In the distance the dust cracked and cooled. I stared at my work on the wall, standing proud and tall. There was much speculation regarding my next location. Some said a Peruvian plantation, others said a Hungarian train station. They were all wrong, I felt strong, imagining the characters of Mao Zedong. This is where I belong, carrying the torch for rebels with a cause. Hardcore, breaking laws, with my exterior decor until my hands are sore. Packed my bag, ready to leave. The sway of the canal seeped in the breeze. Suddenly something appeared under the trees, a shadow, a figure emerging. It was nearing me in the shape of a person. I started walking hastily so he couldn't face me. He started to chase me, I panicked and ran. A policeman, a community support, either way I couldn't be caught. Flight system in distraught, as my instinct completely disabled my thoughts. The piece was done, the time had come, trembling from toe to tongue. A deep breath filled my lungs. Out of the shadow's depth, I took my first step, careful not to pierce the threat. My cheeks smothered in sweat, approaching his silhouette. Anxiety rising, my fantasy was materializing. I practiced my intro 1,000 times for when the time arrived. Hi, I'm your biggest fan. I followed you since you began, and even when critics slam saying you're a sham, here I stand, brought to you by the divine plan. Eyes pan to scan the scene, perfectly serene. Just a few meters between me and my dream, ready to make the connection by turning the adverse direction. Overcome with a slight rejection, I walk faster, like a servant behind his master. His acute graphics hearing must have heard me nearing. He starts to sprint, by instinct I ran to, no time to think. Through the bushes along the bank, the moon's expression in the sky was blank. Below our shadows darted, the clouds parted. A dead end we neared, I could smell his fear. He turned and charged at me, arms interlocked as one. We wrestled backwards, he spun and fell on the floor. I ripped the mask from his jaw and paused, staring in awe. The king of vandals, his eyes tranquil, complexion pale, lines on his face detailed, lips were stale, skin scarred and real. A man with no fear, no shame, selfless, secure and brave. He defined beauty, his eyes stared through me. I suddenly felt weak in front of his godly physique, too mesmerized to speak, but the silence was poetic, nothing synthetic. Our chemistry was deeply magnetic. Out of breath, heart pounding my chest, I was no contest. I felt naked, too shocked to fake it. Fully exposed, he stood composed, analyzing my face. Unstable and weak, my mask lay at my feet. His gaze was deep, I could read his thoughts. He saw my fear, my hate, the self-disgust. An ugly man lying in the dust. I felt pathetic, no king, no legend, no rebel, no veteran. Just a self-indulgent misfit, cowardly, antagonistic, far from mystic. A simplistic nitwit, his eyes and mind combined to ravage mine. Traveling through age and time, he saw the cold nights, crying by the bedside light. My parents fighting, no pads with my first scribings. The shallowness beneath the skin, revealing the emptiness within. The longer he looked, the harder my world shook. It was too much to bear, unable to escape his stare. My ego crumbled and anger inside rumbled. Deep down I knew this day would arrive. Progress or demise, the struggle to survive. I am my disguise and that's all they can know. The wind started to blow, I took a deep breath, summoned my remaining strength, and pulled the gun hidden in my belt, pointed straight at him, ready to let it clap him. I couldn't let him leave, to the world he'd leak the description of my physique. Everyone would know I'm weak, I'd be a circus freak, and through my cage they would peek, laughing sardonically while they critiqued. His eyes dared me to squeeze, my fingers sweating on the piece. I looked away and released, he shuddered to his knees, then to the floor. Blood leaked from his jaw, onto the cold slabs of stone, dripping into the canal's flow. I reattached my mask, reunited at last, heartbeat slowed down, no cameras around, the mask felt like a crown. The world needed me as much as I did, to point out its ugliness and violence. Sacrifices I made for the greater good, so with no remorse I stood over his corpse. Suddenly sirens screeched and soared, I slid the body down the canal ridge. Lights flashed over the bridge, it splashed but wouldn't sink, no time to think. Cleared the evidence and links and start to sprint. I ran till I could no more, the sirens became distant roars, and just as I paused, I thought of my graph piece discovered by the police, linking me to the scene of crime. But there was no time, I couldn't go back, I had to stay intact and hide, something I've had to do my entire life.
You stay anonymous as who you are. And that's the whole point of it.
Being like the wind, you know, you can't see him, but you could feel it. You could have this sort of anonymous thing about it where you could like have one kind of, you portray yourself as one thing and then like change into my other costume and I'm this other guy. Superhero.